Imagine booking your dream vacation only to find out at the airport that you're not allowed in. Yes, some countries have completely banned American travelers. Whether it's due to political tensions, security risks, or strict government policies, US passport holders are prohibited from stepping foot in these places. Stick around because number 1 on this list will shock you. Number 10, North Korea, the most isolated nation. North Korea has been a no-go zone for Americans since 2017. The US government issued a strict travel ban after multiple cases of American citizens being detained. The most infamous case? Otto Warmbier, a US student, was sentenced to 15 years of hard labor for allegedly stealing a propaganda poster. He was returned to the US in a coma and tragically passed away. Due to the risk of wrongful imprisonment and severe punishment, traveling to North Korea on a US passport is strictly prohibited. Number 9, Iran. High risk of arrest. Iran and the US have had a rocky relationship for decades. American travelers have been detained on vague charges of espionage, leading to high-profile cases where people were imprisoned for years. The Iranian government sees dual citizens as a threat, and even casual tourists have been accused of being spies. Unless you have special permission from the US government, traveling to Iran is strongly discouraged. Number 8, Syria. War zone and no US embassy. Syria has been in a devastating civil war for over a decade. The US government warns that Americans who travel there are at risk of kidnapping, terrorism, and even execution. Since there is no American embassy in Syria, if you get into trouble, there is no one to help you. The country is simply too dangerous, and the US State Department has an active travel ban in place. Number 7, Yemen, a haven for extremist groups. Yemen is one of the most dangerous countries in the world due to ongoing conflict, famine, and the presence of terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda. The US government has warned that Americans could be targeted for ransom or political gain, and even humanitarian workers have been abducted. Due to these extreme risks, the US has completely restricted travel to Yemen. Number 6, Libya, a country without a stable government. Since the fall of Muammar Gaddafi, Libya has been in chaos. Rival militant groups fight for power, and kidnappings are common. For American citizens, the risk of being caught in violent conflicts or taken hostage is extremely high. The US Embassy in Libya was evacuated in 2014, and since then, no American citizens have been allowed to enter. Number 5, Somalia. Pirates and terrorist strongholds. Somalia is notorious for piracy and terrorism. The terrorist group Al-Shabaab has repeatedly targeted Westerners, especially Americans. The Somali government has little control over certain regions, making it nearly impossible to guarantee safety. The US government has advised against all travel to Somalia, as the chances of being kidnapped or killed are dangerously high. Number 4, Venezuela. Hostile to Americans. Venezuela, once a popular tourist destination, has become one of the most dangerous places for American travelers. Political tensions between the US and Venezuelan government have led to wrongful detentions of American citizens. Even corporate executives and journalists have been arrested without any clear reason, and the US has shut down its embassy in Venezuela, meaning if you get into trouble, you're on your own. Number 3, Afghanistan. After the US withdrawal in 2021, Afghanistan has been under Taliban control. The Taliban government has banned away many Western influences, and Americans are at risk of being detained or used as political hostages. The situation is unpredictable, and there are no safe evacuation routes for Americans. The US strictly prohibits its citizens from traveling to Afghanistan due to extreme risks. Number 2, Russia. Heightened tensions and travel restrictions. Due to increasing political tensions, traveling to Russia as an American is riskier than ever. The Russian government has detained multiple US citizens on espionage charges, and diplomatic relations have worsened. Many American companies have shut down operations in Russia, and even athletes have been detained. The US government strongly discourages travel to Russia, warning that Americans could be targeted for political reasons. Number 1, Belarus, the surprise entry. You might not expect Belarus to be on this list, but it has officially closed its doors to Americans. The country is closely aligned with Russia and has been accused of wrongfully detaining foreigners. The US government has urged Americans to leave Belarus immediately, as tensions in the region are at an all-time high. If you enter, you might not be allowed to leave. If you are an American traveler, always check the latest travel advisories before booking a trip. The world is constantly changing, and some destinations that were once safe might now be off limits. Like this video? Smash that like button, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more eye-opening content, and see you in the next one.